I remember very specifically when Bitcoin first was like a thing, and I sat down with like different people and was like, holy smokes, this is gonna revolutionize everything. And I remember like explaining all of it and be like, we should mine this, we should buy it. And all of the people that I presented to were like, no, you're dumb, this is going to be used for illegal things. And I just ignored it.
And that's why you're trying to take over the world now, right? Because of those
That's
people.
why.
They screwed you over, you didn't invest, and now you will destroy them. All right, so now that we're here, Mr. Kitboga, do you go as Kit? Do you go as Mr. Boga? Do you go as Kitty? What do you go for?
Puppy.
Puppy. Okay, so now that we're... wait, can you guys not see it? Can you guys not see it? We good? Everybody good? Yes? Okay, good. All right, we're good.
I mean, I'm watching this. I mean, I'm looking at it, and
okay,
I am visible.
So Mr. Kitty, question for you.
Kit is fine.
All right, Kit. All right, Mr. Boga. So my question is obviously, first off, we're gonna get into the background and everything, but I have to know: do you currently diamond hands? Are you currently diamond handsing any AMC, GameStop, Nokia, or BlackBerry?
Yes.
What are you owning?
By the way, thank you for having me. I'm really excited.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for coming on. This was this was really unexpected.
Yeah. I am holding GameStop, and I have 2022 calls on Nokia.
What did you buy GameStop at?
I bought GameStop at like 20 at one point, and then I sold it. And then I bought back in at like 200, more for the to be honest, we can talk a little bit about...
No, don't have to give up any information you don't want to give up. These guys will not judge you. They are the most kind-hearted, loving, understanding community I've ever been a part of.
Sure. No. I mean, we can talk a little bit about some of my thoughts on GameStop and stuff. I haven't heard all of your thoughts. I bought back in partially because of what's the word? It wasn't necessary. Like, I didn't invest a ton of money into it. It was more about like, yeah, like, look at what's going on here. Initially, when I invested in GameStop, it was because I'm on Wall Street Bets and everyone was talking about it. And I was like, I mean, if they're all excited about it, it's going to go up. I sort of was just like, whatever.
And it did, though. It did. People were like, at some point, people were like, hey, I'm going to sell and leave everybody else with the bag.
But then later, when I started seeing some of the stuff that like the brokerages were doing and following some of the news and almost seeing people paint Wall Street Bets or retail investors as like the bad guys, I sort of got re-involved in more, what would you call it? It almost felt like not a mission, but like a cause, you know?
Yeah. I think we're all
like, no, I'm buying back in and I'm never selling. In fact, Rob, I unfortunately was on Robinhood. Well, I guess still am with some of it.
Did you try to sell off Robinhood or buy off Robinhood during the when they curbed it?
I had a buy order one morning that they canceled when they canceled all that. And then they canceled all of my limit sell orders because mine were all like 696969 and stuff. But yeah. So I am holding. I don't plan on selling unless someone wants to buy it for like 696969 or something like that.
Like $69.69, because you could probably get somebody to buy it for that right now. Like, listen, ladies and gentlemen, anybody looking to buy shares of GameStop at $69.69, I know a guy.
No, what would they be? $6,969.69 would be.
There was actually a point during the debacle last week where we had guys in here that had fractional shares. And because the squeeze or whatnot was going on, they were selling it at crazy amounts, and they were getting fractional shares sold off at like $1,200. Now it was a fractional share, but that's just what the demand was picking up for their orders. It wasn't on full shares; it was just on the fractional shares.
Yeah.
So, well, all right. So you're diamond handsing GameStop from $200, and you're gonna and your plan is to never sell this ever. Just you're gonna remember this for 20 years. You're gonna look back. Your kids are gonna grow up, and you're gonna say, if you have kids, if you end up having kids, I'm not sure your family situation, but
I do have children. Yeah,
you have children. Okay, so your kids are gonna grow up one day. They're gonna go off to college, and you're gonna say to them, kids,
I'm sorry.
Not only can you only go to a community college because Daddy made a bad decision, but I'm gonna give you these shares, and they're gonna be like, Daddy, what's GameStop? And you're gonna feel old. And they're going to be like, but Dad, you have like 5 shares and they're worth 80 cents a piece. What am I supposed to do with this? And you just tell them, always remember.
Hold.
You're going to hold. We're going to hold this.
And someday, little one, someday your dreams won't be
Someday your kids will be able to go to community college too.
Yes.
All right. So,
I mean,
what?
I mean, I would say we could talk. I assume you guys have been talking quite a bit about it. So I don't want to. If you don't want to keep talking about it, we don't have to. I've lurked quite a bit recently on the GME and AMC stuff. So, but yeah, in general, there's part of me that still believes that it could happen. So,
and it's all about, listen, there's people that believe a lot weirder things out there. Me personally, I don't have GameStop, but I am diamond handsing some AMC, some BlackBerry, and some Nokia just because I feel like I have to, like, I don't have a choice. It's just for the memes, it doesn't matter what it is. I am required by some kind of outwardly law that I have to own these shares. And I
feel a little bit like that. Yeah, I guess I feel a little bit like that with GameStop. It was so. I don't know exactly what topics you want to dive into, but I think that I am somewhat structured in that I have a loose budget, or when it comes to my savings and investing, I kind of have different percentages set aside for different things. And so I have I think 5% of it is what I call the risky stuff.
DGen, just call it DGen. It's okay.
You're
amongst family now. We've accepted you.
Yes.
Guys, can we get some hugs in chat just so we know?
Yeah. I feel so welcome. The Wall Street bet style stuff. So currently, probably all of that is in GameStop, basically.
Oh my God.
And the Nokia. I mean, I bought those Nokia calls so cheap though, and I was sort of like, whatever.
But I mean, Nokia, at least Nokia. I mean, there's a lot of hype online about those stocks right now that everybody's trying to convince everyone else that there's so much upside potential that it's okay. It's okay that I'm down 48% on Nokia. They're gonna do good. They've got so much potential, and so I will bless those. Okay, so what I was wanting to do, because I want to get to know you. I want my chat to get to know you. I feel like you're one of, and forgive me, I am relatively new to the Twitch space. I started streaming about a little over 2 years ago. A lot of controversy in the beginning, and just kind of grew. And this whole situation kind of just put it to another level. So I am a bit green when it comes to Twitch overall, but I feel like you're one of those guys that if you know Twitch, you know them. You know what I mean? You're like one of the staples of Twitch. I'm not kissing your ass. I'm just saying, you're just a staple on the website. You know what I mean? Like when you think of Twitch, you think of several people, and Kitboga and his calls, are just a part of this. My wife, full disclosure, is from India. She is Indian, and she loves watching you because she knows about the scammers over there, and she thinks it's hilarious. I'm just waiting for the time when I go in there and I hear my brother-in-law, and that's when I can't wait for that. But no, it's so that's awesome. So let me get a little like explain to me like I'm 5. Like, so I'm sure you've done a million interviews like this, but we're gonna get into the DGen stuff. So explain to me what brought you to Twitch. How did your Twitch career start? And was it always this, or was this kind of something you went into it because it worked?
I got into it because it worked, I guess, as a job. So I never started the stream anticipating that I would do this as a job, right? Like a content creator or whatever you want to call it, streamer, influencer. I hate the influencer word, but
I do too. I hate it.
it very much started. My background is in software, and I saw some video one day of there's a it's called Hey It's Lenny. There's this recording of an older gentleman, and he says something like what, I can't hear you, and he just keeps repeating himself over and over. And this telemarketer was on the phone for 20 minutes with this guy, and it's a recording of him saying like what, and when I saw it, I thought it was funny. I clicked another video, and it was a tech support. It said like tech support scammer goes off on robot or something. And so 20 minutes into it, this tech support scammer's yelling at this recording, and I thought, wait, like, how do I not know that this exists? Like I'm on the computer all the time. I'm a tech guy. I should know about these tech support scams. And I started doing a little bit of research, saw millions of dollars were being stolen. There's all these scams out there. And my grandparents had dementia and Alzheimer's when they were alive. And so I was like, man, if they were around, they definitely would be scammed by this. Like, I love them. And as weird as it might sound, they just wouldn't have been able to logic through it. You know, they would.
It's like the Nigerian scam that went off when we were kids.
Right.
So many people got caught up in that. And
now I think most people know that that's a scam.
But no, you would think so. But if that was the case, these things wouldn't happen. There's a reason they happen because people, I mean, we always try to give too much credit to people, I think. I think that the idea is that, you know, individuals are smart, people are stupid. Okay, well, that's probably a little harsh. You know what? Let me pull that back. Individuals are smart, but people in large groups can sometimes be misled or misinformed easily if we look at it from a whole. Jesus, I didn't say that right. Let me screw it.
No, I get what you're saying. I mean, I think part of the scam stuff is like social engineering, or you get manipulated into thinking that you can trust that GameStop is going to go up. No, you get manipulated.
They're not ready. You gotta. They're still. They're not. I don't know if you probably if you happened to see my stream. You probably didn't. The other day, I went through the losses channel on our Discord, and it was a bloodbath. I mean, there were people that didn't sell last week. Like, I mean, I was trying to yell at them during the fun. I was like, guys,
I bought. So
yeah, but these. I mean, one guy was down like $100,000 in like since Friday. I was just like, oh my god. Yeah, like there were people who really got caught up in it, and it was like, it was horrible. All right, so
yeah,
go ahead.
So all I was gonna say is I do think that some of the scam stuff is they employ it is as ridiculous as some of the calls I have are, and as foolish as I can make the scammers seem, they do very specifically follow a script that's designed to manipulate you. So if you don't know about some of those topics, you might very well think that it's an actual Microsoft person or whatever. So
yeah, and
that's part of why I started doing the stream, was just to educate people and be like, hey, this is out there.
Well, I mean, dude, it's awesome. You're doing a service and you're making it hilarious, right? I mean, I'll be honest with you. There was a time when I got my identity stolen back in 2007, 2008, and before like everything blew up, and it was a pain in the ass for me, right? And so for a while there, I'd get a call. It was like, this is the IRS. You're currently under that. And like my heart would pound, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't even an old person. I was just like freaking out because like, you know, you especially, let me explain to you. Half my chat probably is always concerned that they're doing something that they're going to get caught for, okay? I'm not accusing anyone of anything for illegal. There is a difference between tax evasion and tax avoidance. But, you know, when you trade stocks and stuff like that and you do your own taxes, sometimes you're worried. So it's actually not. But I think that you've shown that obviously there's the scams out there, and that you know, the IRS is never going to contact you by phone, you know, and they're not going to do that. But a lot of people do it. Okay, so you got into streaming because you were just doing it as a hobby, right?
Sort of. Like I started calling the scammers, and my mission. Have you ever had times in your life where you felt kind of right place, right time, or you were just passionate about something and
last
you didn't really
week,
know
GameStop,
why?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So
I don't mean the
Anyone else
stock. I mean as a streamer. Like I was just doing my own thing. I'm just doing my stream. I have a couple thousand viewers. I'm just some nobody. You know, I'm still that way. But I'm just hanging out, and all of a sudden the GameStop thing happens, and I go from like 2,500 viewers to 70,000 viewers. I shoot my shot on Twitter. I'm talking to AOC, and then it's just like, and then it's like, wait, what just happened? So I was in the right place at the right time, I guess, to answer the question.
Well, yeah, for me, part of it was just I think it took me about 5 minutes to find a scammer who wanted to connect to my computer because there were viruses on it. And I knew enough about putting together a virtual machine that I felt comfortable, like protected if I were to let them come on my computer. And I remember just being blown away that this was happening. And I probably just hung up the phone and told my wife, like, holy crap, this exists. And so I just started telling all my friends about it. And one of them said, oh, you should like stream it on Twitch so I can watch. When I first started streaming it, it was literally for like 2 of my friends, just so like I would be on the phone. I used to play my guitar and like sing Boot Scoot Boogie and just stupid things while I wasted their time. And I don't to this day fully know what happened, but in general, I think it was random people would like go to the very bottom of just, what was it called? IRL. It didn't used to be called Just Chatting. And at one point, one of my clips got shared on LSF, Live Stream Fails. And I didn't know what that was. And the next day there were like, I think 200 people or something like watching my stream. And that's why I put the glasses on. I like went to my car and like put some glasses on because I'm like, why are people watching me? Like, what is happening right now? So yeah, it was very.
Were you working at the time?
Yeah, just software.
So let me ask you this. I was having this discussion earlier. At what point did you look at your wife and say, babe, I'm going to quit my corporate job with benefits and a retirement package to stream to a bunch of 14-year-olds who watch Fortnite on the internet, and that's going to be my job? Because that's what everybody thinks Twitch is.
Actually, she, I think, probably more encouraged me to some degree. I've always done, like, worked with different, I think the right way to word this. There were times where I worked at different like startups or did different things just because I've always been somewhat, I don't want to say obsessed, but I wanted to do things differently, whether it was investing or whatever, like just try different stuff and learn. So, to some degree,
investing. I bought GameStop at 200.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Right. I mean, we can meme on my investments a little bit if you want.
Oh, wait till you hear about mine. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, it was a weird thing. I would say that I had the support of some friends and family, and in terms of like, hey, if you want to try it, like worst case scenario, you probably can go back and get a job in software. Like, why don't we just try it, kind of a thing. And yeah, it was weird, I guess. The weirdest part was explaining it to my parents, probably.
Yeah. How many viewers were you averaging at the time?
I don't remember. Maybe. Gosh, I'd have to go back. There were a couple points where I remember one time I went to the front page of Reddit once, and I wasn't even home. I was like traveling. But yeah, there were times pretty early on where all of a sudden I had like 10,000 people watching, and
Jesus Christ,
I didn't know what to do with myself, kind of a thing. Like, what's happening? So yeah, I guess part of it was, you took a risk in that you don't really know what's going to happen. And initially, I remember I used to talk with my wife and say, well, maybe this will last a year, or like, maybe it'll last 2 years. I just wanted to do it and have fun with it and see what would happen. And now at this point, I don't know. I'll just probably keep doing it. And
What do you
learning and having fun.
when you talk to somebody who asks what you do for a living? How do you answer that question?
Oh, so I'm
that,
pretty private.
uh-huh.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like out and about, if I do leave my house, if I met some random, honestly, if I met some random person, I probably wouldn't say I do anything on, like
How would
YouTube
you
or Twitch or
explain what
anything.
you do? Like I work in software development still.
Yeah, I probably would just be like, yeah, I do software. Or like, oh, I do some security stuff. I like tell me what you do. A lot of people like to talk about themselves, so sometimes I'll just deflect and be like,
When people
no, tell
ask me what
more
I
about-
do, I just say I make videos about finance on the internet. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it. So it sounds
Yeah,
like
there's
I
been-
do like I'm teaching a class or something.
right. I've told some people like, oh yeah, I do some like videos and some educational content and stuff like that. One time I was traveling and I was at a store and someone came up to me and were like, hey, are you a YouTuber? And I said, I was like, I dabble. Like I have a small, like you probably wouldn't know me. Like, no, I watch your stream like every day. And I was like,
You don't wear your
Oh.
glasses out in public, do you?
no.
I was gonna say you
Like,
would.
oh,
That would
hi.
be. So people don't. Do people recognize you without your glasses?
So at TwitchCon,
Well,
it was sort of like the Superman thing. No. Like I could take my glasses off and people wouldn't recognize me. It was pretty cool. So if I wanted to like move quickly, I could just take my glasses off and run through the crowds. Yeah.
I feel
It
like
was
that would be
actually
me if I put a
pretty
wig
fun.
on and actually had a hairline. Like people would be like, "Who's this guy?" You know. Okay. All right. So I want to get back to this point right here because I think it's really interesting because I think our wives are the superheroes at the end. So you
Yeah.
had your job. You said, "I'm gonna do this." Your wife was on board. You just started doing this, and you already had these viewers, and so you decided, "Hey, I'm going to." And what year was this when you decided to quit your job to do Twitch?
I need to write down, I need to take notes, the chronicles of
Just
Maybe-
a year, maybe. I'm just curious.
19 or 18.
2018, 2019. Wow. So it's pretty.
19?
2018.
Only a couple years, maybe.
All the five heads in
Yeah,
chat are
2018 or
yelling
19.
of what it was 2018.
Okay, 18. Yeah.
And then
yeah, there were some.
Oh no, go ahead.
Go ahead. There were definitely some hard decisions, and I liked what I was doing. I liked my job, so it was kind of weird to be like, well, I also really like this, and balancing. For a while, I kind of tried to do both, and that didn't really work either. So.
All right,
There was a point where
I'm
it
just
just-
curious because I think of you, like I said, I think of you as such a powerhouse on this site. Now, obviously, depending on what people watch, it's going to be different. You know, if somebody's into gaming, they may
Yeah.
not see you. But I just think of like certain people who run certain things, and I find you so interesting because you did something that wasn't really known for on Twitch before, and you became like the guy for it. Like if you think of Twitch and you think of calling scammers or this, it's just you. I mean, you are that guy, and you kind of revolutionized
Sure.
and kind of pioneered an entire new category and an entire new thing on Twitch, which is scary because yeah, it's great to be on top, but you're the guy that everyone that comes after you is going to learn their mistakes from.
Yeah, I guess I don't think about a lot of that, if I'm honest. I just kind of try to do my thing and have fun, but I guess to some degree, there were some people early on that, like I've seen other, like I mentioned, hey, it's Lenny, and I had seen some other people who were calling scammers, but I tried to make it my own and have fun and do different stuff. So yeah.
What was your oh shit, I
quit-
made it moment?
Probably, I mean, the front page of Reddit stuff was just surreal. It felt like it wasn't happening. Probably, even though this is probably just a logistical thing, or who knows why it happened. At TwitchCon a year or two ago, they had me signing, like I had a line of people, and I was in between like the Doc and Tim the Tat Man, and we all had a line, the whole expo hall full of people who wanted to like meet us, and they had to cut off people coming into our lines. And I remember being like what is happening? I'm just some random dude. It was very I don't know how to describe it because I still think of I'm just me, you know? I
Yeah.
never set out to like do this. So
What's the
it was pretty
weirdest
wild.
fan interaction you've had? I'm just curious about that. Like, not somebody asked me to sign their boobs, you know what I mean? Like, that's just normal for all of us.
I probably just can't talk about. The weirdest fan interaction. I'm trying to think. The ones that come to mind are like, I guess, I probably more like stalkerish kind of stuff. Has been weird.
Oh, this is okay. Let's dive into this one. Go ahead, talk to this about this one. I'm curious.
Well, I just don't know how much I should or can talk about.
Just generalize it. You don't want to dox them.
Yeah, just some moments where this may or may not have happened to you. I think it happens to a lot of streamers where someone, for whatever reason, really likes or doesn't like what you're doing, and it turns into an uncomfortable situation where they're constantly, you know, making new accounts to message you or whatever it is. And yeah.
I had someone show up during my stream. They found my address, and this is when I was a much smaller streamer. They found my address. No. They showed up at my house. I got a knock on the door midstream. I go and open my door. They were at my front door with a cup of homemade soup that they had made and drove and brought to my house. Now, I'm an ex-military guy. I have a lot of guns in the house. Not worried about my safety. But I thought to myself, I may need to make an example out of this person. Oh, let me explain what I mean by that. No. What I meant by is I need to make an example why this is stupid. So I brought that person into my home, like not like in through my home, put them in front of my computer so everyone could see. I put them on my stream, and I said, "What?" I said, "No." I was a smaller streamer, and I said, I want you guys to see this. It sounds like I'm about to say I offed them on stream.
This is insane.
But I put them in the seat, and I said, this is the dumbest thing you can ever do. I said, if you ever show up to someone's house, anything could happen. Do not be this stupid. And then I told them to leave my house and never come back. And I did that for two reasons. One, if that person came back and something happened to me, I had a visual of them on my stream. And at the same time, I wasn't thinking, and I was really livid, and I whatever. But that was just it, and it really, 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 it really freaked me out. It let me know that, like, you know, we're in a situation where you never know. I mean, people are kind of weird, and there's a lot of people. Like, for example, I deal with money, right? And there's always going to be people that love you and people that hate you. Even if you're just a guy who does memes, there's just people just aren't right. You know what I mean? People will find reasons to hate. They might think that you're part of the problem.
Well, do you ever have situations where someone feels as though they took your advice and lost, and now they're mad?
I would say that no one takes my advice because I'm very, very, very transparent with the way I do things. I do think that there are some people out there who are upset at me for playing the hype of the GameStop thing every day. These dickheads, they're all shadow traders. I think there are some people out there who think that I may have, you know, ran with the hype of the GameStop thing a little too much. Even though I kept saying every 15 minutes, guys, this is fun. It's great. You take it to the man, everything, but please do not put any more money into a complete gamble than you are willing to lose. And then on Friday especially, it was, guys, if you hold anything over the weekend, it has to be something that you are 100% okay with losing, right? Because I had to make that clear. Yeah. But at the same time, it was hype. The stock was going up. Andrew, we have a guy in our community who put his $38,000 retirement into GameStop. And it got to 100,000, went down to 40,000, went back up to 100,000. He turned to his wife and said, "What should I do?" And she said, "You diamond hands it." And it went up to $400,000 on Friday. And I was like, dude, at least if it was me, I don't see how you don't take at least half of that. You just put 20 years of your retirement gains in 2 days. And he held it overnight.
Cover your initial.
He held it, and he still got out with like 70,000. But it's like, it just, you feel bad, but at least he made the German newspapers. That's cool.
There you go. Well, I suppose as long as you have more than you started with, but
Yeah, I mean, and he had a good time, but it was just so for me, yeah, I would say that's where I'm getting a little bit of a little pushback, and it's fine. I mean, it was fun, it was great. I was in it. I was in the other DJ stuff. We had a good time. I left the I kept telling people, listen, guys, you got to be smart with this. But for those who are diamond handsing and having fun, let's have fun with it. Let's run with it.
Yeah.
So, but I don't tell people what to buy. I don't tell people how they should invest their money. I make it very clear that the market is, the market as a whole isn't really a gamble, but trying to trade stocks is a gamble. 90 to 95% of day traders lose or don't beat the market. The smart thing is to just put it in a passive market fund and just let it go. I'm very clear on that. But people are still going to be degen. So I said, if you want to be degen, this is what the possibilities are. So I think that's, I mean, that's
cool though. I mean, it sounds like you're pretty, honest.
Still money though. There's always going to be people that hate.
By the way, really quick, I feel like I'm doing a disservice to chat if I don't ask. A lot of people were wondering how the soup tasted, or if you tasted the soup when that individual came to your house.
You honestly think I ate some weirdos?
Okay, sorry.
Homemade soup.
People were asking.
If he brought me a can of inserts future sponsors brands soup in a can, okay, maybe. This man brought me a plastic container with ramen and carrots and some other stuff in it. I was not eating that soup.
Yeah, there's zero chance I would have. Yeah, zero chance I would have. I also would not have let them into my house, but I think I can understand your.
Okay, full disclosure, I did eat some fast food that was dropped off at my house one day by somebody randomly on the internet, but I'm assuming that it came from a delivery service.
Hoping that it came from.
I'm hoping. Yeah, they're a Monka S, dude. So, I do what I do. All right, so as far as so you had your oh shit moment. You had your I quit my job and do this. And then obviously at some point you realized that you could make a living off of this, right? But you seem like a sensible guy who comes from a decent background, right?
Yeah, I think. I don't know.
Okay, so you're probably assuming that you aren't going to be on top forever, or that streaming isn't going to be forever.
Right.
So were you investing before Twitch outside of a 401k or just what?
Yeah. Some. I was a pretty early on. I got exposed to some of the what would you call it? Financial independence, early retirement type stuff. Yeah. Sorry. Well, some of it. So I had a friend who I was pretty close with who, in general, what I took from it was, hey, pay attention to how much you're spending and what you're doing with it. So I remember right around college years when I first started kind of living on my own and paying attention to all that stuff, I had at one point, maybe for the first time ever, really looked at all of the money that I spent for a month or two and been like, oh my gosh, I spent so much of at the time, not a lot of money that I had on food or whatever the categories were. And it was a big wake up call to realize, man, I really could be paying more attention to this. And then as I got into my career and, got whatever promotions or made more money, I always tried to keep my standard of living pretty low, if that makes sense. Even when I got promotions or made more money, I didn't just spend all of it.
It's a fallacy a lot of people have. They think I make more, therefore I should spend more. And that's the dumbest thing ever. It's like, you make more, good, save and invest more. You don't have to up your lifestyle because at the equal price, pace that you made an increase with your actual, income. Right.
So I think that helped some with all this, or being able to okay, I can make it. I don't think I ever thought I was going to make it big on Twitch kind of a thing. It was just, the amount that is coming in can support my, I could pay my whatever standard of living was. I can at least pay my mortgage and support my family and be able to put a little bit away. And if it goes up, great, I'll keep saving it. If it goes down, I might have to do it part-time because I love what I do.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
can't really see myself stopping. But it might just be, hey, I gotta do something else on the side or whatever it is. But
Denny's?
I probably would get into like cybersecurity or AI.
Okay.
I'm somewhat obsessed with AI stuff right now.
Are you investing in that?
Yes, I am.
Why do you look ashamed? You look so ashamed when you said that. You go, God, story time, boys.
Well, two things. One, I think AI is very scary in the sense that I'm a huge Battlestar Galactica fan. And I don't know if you've seen it or know the context at all, but general summary, we make AI/robots to help us out. The robots realize, spoiler alert, the best way to help humanity is to destroy all humans. And then that's what they try to do.
Well, Bill Burr said it best. The best way to help humanity is to just sink cruise ships.
So, not familiar with that, but that is definitely something that the Cylons would have said.
Cylons, Jesus Christ. Cylons, I'm guessing that's the AI people that took over the world.
Yes.
God, you're making me sound so bad right now. I have no idea. I know. Guys, full disclosure, I've never watched Battlestar Galactica. It's okay. It's okay. You can please hold your booze for the end of the show, okay?
It's okay. It's okay. Our friendship might not go beyond. I'm just kidding.
We're friends now? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. It's the glasses. Yeah. All right, so you're investing in AI. What are you investing in specific companies, ETFs?
Okay, so to be clear, the AI that I'm there's literally one stock other than GameStop, and I guess the Nokia call that I spent like $100 on that I don't really care about. Sorry, chat, I love you. Is PLTR.
Oh no.
And so that's literally the old.
Listen, I'm not against PLTR. I think PLTR is a great stock. I should have known it was going to be one of those.
That's why I said it the way I said it. I was like, yeah, I guess I am investing in it. It was like,
what price did you get in at?
I have been. I'm trying to think. I still have a $17 call.
Oh, so you just took options?
Oh, no, I have stock too.
Wait, when did you buy a $17 call?
A long time ago.
What was it, a leap for like 2 years out?
When it was like less than $1. I don't know, when it was cheap. So I honestly, really quick chat, I don't make money with my risky stock.
No, he still owns GameStop.
I still own GameStop. But I do think that I don't even know how to say the name of the company. Palantir? From what I understand,
you're gonna fit right in here, by the way.
I assume there's a couple people in chat who
they just buy stuff. They don't know what it is. They don't know how to pronounce it. It just everyone's talking about it. We're going to the moon, boys.
No, but from what I understand of AI, so I've been working on some, I think, somewhat simple AI projects myself for the stream, and it's sort of a hobby that I've picked up in my spare time, is just learning about AI and training some bots or whatever you want to call it myself. And I do think that it is a very young or very early on technology. I think that it's something that's going to obviously to me anyway, revolutionize and change everything. So they're a company that it seems like the stuff they're doing right now is only going to keep growing. So
I'd like to circle back.
I'll buy it.
I'd like to circle back to what you just said. You're training robots in your house?
Oh, sorry. No.
No. You said you're
AI.
training. Oh, you're training artificial intelligence.
Sorry.
Aren't you the guy who just said you're worried about AI taking over the world, but you're in your own home training AI? Do you understand how that sounds right now?
Here's the thought, right? If I understand it or I'm training them, maybe they'll love me.
But isn't that how every movie started out? Like, all of a sudden, it's like, I'm the humble guy. I'm just doing this for the good of humanity. And then I realized that I can get rid of the bad people of humanity, right? So I can use this for good, what I believe is good. So now I get rid of the bad people. But then all of a sudden, I have this power. Like, I have the power of God. Like, I get to decide who is good and who is bad and who disappears. And now all of a sudden, you're doing it right, but then some guy cuts you off in traffic. Gone. Dog poops and doesn't pick it up. He's gone. Next thing you know, you become like, everybody's dead and they worship you. Is this where we're going with this?
I hope not. I think it is to be, feared and respected. So the amount of time that I haven't spent a lot of time, but the amount that I have put into the AI stuff makes me feel like we know nothing about it, and we're just at the cusp of what we could do with AI, which is both terrifying because Battlestar Galactica and what you're talking about and Skynet and all that, but also a really exciting investment opportunity.
Oh,
I'm just
God.
kidding. Don't take my financial advice.
Oh, no. All right, so let me ask you without getting too personal. So what I like to take away from these is as somebody was talking about this on stream today. They said, I quit my job to go to the music industry. What do I do? And I said, you know what? He said it's stupid. I said it's not stupid. I said a lot of people who became successful took risks and took chances. You did it with doing into this. I obviously did it. There was obviously we had supportive wives. Some of us had supportive girlfriends too. And then what happened is that we ended up getting in, it worked out for us. It's not going to work out for everybody. So we're not telling anybody what to do or to join this. We're obviously an exception to the rule, right? So in your case, like you also do investing, right? You said like 5% is the DGen stuff. So the other 95%, without telling us exactly what you do, like what is your other type? Like, is it real estate? Is it like ETFs, blue chip stocks? Like what kind of investing do you do outside of using AI to take over the world?
Yeah, good. Well, most of my time is the AI taking over the world bit, but in my spare time.
Thank you for taking time out of that, by the way, today.
Yeah. I had my AI assistant schedule you in. Sorry. So, gosh, I should have been more prepared. I tried to look at a little bit of a breakdown of my. So, can I say the name of like a?
Well, you're not telling anybody to buy anything.
I don't think either one of us are sponsored by them.
No.
I have enjoyed. Are you familiar with M1 Finance?
I am. Yes.
At all? So there was a point at some point in my investing, I used to buy different stocks. Yeah, I used to buy. I mean, at one point, when AMD, I just got lucky with AMD because they're AMD, and it was.
What'd you buy them at?
At one point, like $2 or something.
And you held?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because
what
else was I gonna do with it?
How many shares did you? Well, never mind. That's insane, dude. That's awesome. Don't worry about what I said, but wow. But
I also bought dumb companies, or like I didn't really know what I was. I guess it was luck, is what it kind of boiled down to. I think. I did not sit down and do this deep analysis of what AMD was. I was like, I like AMD. I like them better than Intel products. I think they're neat. Oh, it's $2. And I had this misconception that, I can't, since I couldn't buy a lot of a stock that was, $200, that I could only stick to the stocks that were, cheap.
Oh God, that's everything I teach you. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I since I've realized that that's not. I get it now.
No, I went on a whole rant about this earlier, but oh God. I think the thing that's most impressive is that you diamond handsed it.
But I didn't know what Wall Street. I didn't know any of this. I just. What else was I going to do with it?
Well, you were investing. You weren't trading, so it makes sense that you just hung on to it.
Right. To me, it was. I thought of it as like sort of a retirement.
Wait, what's basic mayonnaise?
Quick, huh?
What's basic mayonnaise?
What?
I thought it was an inside joke from your channel. Somebody was asking about. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. So real quick, I mean, some of the inspiration of it, I suppose, is I watched my dad work a lot, in corporate America for a really, really long time, and then basically just get discarded as he got older. And I didn't super want to buy into the expectation that I could just trust a like corporate job to take care of me type of a thing. So I guess pretty early on, I was like, oh, I got to come up with different ways to do this. But in general, my current strategy, if you can call it a strategy, is I realized I don't do a great job of picking stocks. Like sometimes I do okay, but I don't know enough, and I don't feel like I have the time to know enough. To like, so for example, sorry if I'm going all over the place. I felt like there was every indicate when the stock market started to like crash in the last year. It felt like every indication was that it was going to keep crashing.
Oh, of course, yeah.
No jobs. There was no jobs. Like the Fed's pumping money into the stock market to me, or to everything, felt like, oh, well, when I took Finance 101, like that's a bad thing. That means the value of the dollar is worthless. So I was jokingly all the time in my chat, I'd be like, SPY 100p, boys. SPY 100.
Oh, no.
I just, all the time, I was like, this makes complete logical sense.
Yeah.
And I still sometimes feel like it makes sense, but it did not. Like,
no.
Boy, was I.
And I've been in the market.
My little 5% account or whatever with that. But,
yeah, it still blows my mind. I've been in the market since 2000, since the crash last time, and it took 5 years just to break even. So, I was thinking to myself on the way down, I was like, okay, we're on our way up. The chances of us taking another leg down are huge, right? So I was like, okay, I'm not going to bet on it going down, but I'm not going to jump in on the way up. I kind of want to see what happens. And then all of a sudden we started doing this vertical recovery, and I'm like, there's no way this lasts. But at the same time, at the same time, by April, May, I was like, well, shit, you know what I'll do is I'll leg back into the market, and if it does dump again, I won't be too invested in it, but if it goes up, I want to make sure I get a piece of it. So I was able to get in relatively close to the bottom, but not nowhere near the absolute bottom. And even now, it just feels like we're on the tippy toes of a crash, but I look at what... But I look at what we have. We have stimulus. We have the Fed pumping 0% interest rates. I'm like, well, fuck it. Until it crashes, I'm just going to keep going. What am I going to do? Sit on the sidelines like they did for the last 20 years? People did.
And so because you asked like, okay, what do you really do? I think that I basically have I have a, what is it? SEP IRA for self-employed.
My man.
Folks. And then I have what I call, I think I just call it like financial independence, but I have another just account as well. And the SEP IRA stuff, I have a little bit more diversified. It's just ETF stuff like Vanguard Total Index.
My man, boomers rise up.
Just like, and sometimes I'm not embarrassed to say it, but there's definitely times where I'm like, gosh, I feel like this isn't fun or exciting. It's like boring. Oh, like the most exciting. So my other account though, the financial independence or whatever one, that one is 50% ARK.
Oh, of course. There's nothing wrong with it. I just knew this was coming. I had to have known ARK was coming.
I'm a big fan though. Like I maybe.
There's nothing wrong with ARK. I love ARK. It's just it scares me that it runs so quick that it's like, where's the ceiling? Are they going to be able to rotate out enough speculative stocks before it just like?
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it felt like somewhere along the way, and this was probably 2 years ago, and then more solidified this past year, is like I'm not that great at this, and it's okay. And what is it? Kathy Wood, I think.
Yes.
Is
are you in like our total ARK, or are you in a specific ARK fund?
I'm in ARKK, ARKG. And
you just went down the list, right?
No, well, at one point I had them all, and then I was like, I'm not even joking. I had every single one of them at one point.
What about ARKX?
My
are you doing
whole
space?
portfolio was just like ARK. But now I just have ARKG and ARKK.
Are you gonna do ARKX by any chance? I
probably will. Yeah, a small
Battlestar Galactica makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, my basic, I don't even want to say advice, but my strategy was, you know what? I like this. Like genuinely, I probably look at financial stuff. I think it's interesting. I want to learn more. But for the most part, my actual investing is very passive. So I switched to last year after the market kind of crashed. He likes the stock pod. I decided, so every month in my budget, I had X amount that I would just put over to M1 Finance. So if you're familiar with it, it just automatically
hashtag not ad, not sponsored.
Yeah, hashtag not an ad. It automatically would put it in all those different ARKK, VTI, whatever funds. And I switched it from every month. I just divided that by, like 52 weeks. I just started doing it every week. And I figured I'd hit all the different price points of like, as the market goes up and down, because at some point along the way, Kathy Wood is going to help me retire. That was my...
I mean, I'm hoping that the other, eventually, my biggest concern, just for me personally, is that either A, they're going to run out of speculation stocks, which isn't probably going to happen, but more importantly, these other firms are going to kind of get ahead of it and try, because these large firms like to screw with each other. So I'm just curious if that's ever going to happen. And, like, are they going to try and short her positions, or are they going to try and, how is that going to happen? I mean, everybody's like, oh, they're all just different. Nah, they're all vying for supremacy. But for now, it's working. I mean, I have nothing against the ARKs. I think they're a little bit risky, but I love what she's doing. I think it's great. And I think until something changes, or no, guys, nobody's going to take out Kathy Wood right now. Okay, Jesus Christ,
relax. I think that I'm okay with the risk, to some degree. Maybe in another 5-10 years I won't be, but for now I figured like we'll do it
and so
see what happens.
As far as do you do any other investing, like, not to get personal, but like, do you own your home? Do you have other do you have any other like not to get personal, but do you do let's just put it this way, you have outside of the market?
Right. I've considered, I have a friend who's really into real estate stuff, but I just don't know a lot about it. And so...
You don't know a lot about stocks? That seems to have worked out for you.
Well...
No, you said it yourself. You're like, I wasn't planning on selling. I just kind of bought and held. That's kind of what people do with real estate. I don't know much about real estate. True. Good. Buy and hold. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, right now, no. Right? Your answer is... Or right now, the answer would basically be no. I have some stuff that I've been thinking about in terms of like, oh, do I invest in, I forgot who I was reading or what I was listening to. Someone was talking about, like, could I invest in things, let's say in my stream or my YouTube channel, or like, is there a way that I could, so like in the past year or so, I had realized how stressed I was with everything and trying to manage it all myself. So I've hired different or contracted different people to help me with certain things. And to me, that's an investment.
I need to do that so bad. I really need to. I'm such a, because for me, I've always been on my own my whole life. So I've always been like, I'll take care of everything. I'll handle everything myself.
Well, it's hard, yeah.
And I need to contract some people to like do some stuff, but I can't bring myself to do it. And everybody tells me, listen, if this continues, you need to do it because it's going to make your life easier. Like, it took me 2 weeks to convince my wife that we need to get a babysitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those, and I'm not allowed to choose them, by the way. But that's the thing. It's like it's very difficult. So obviously, and you own your own business, obviously, because you said you have a SEP. Do you ever?
What's a business? I'm just kidding.
Business. What? Okay. What are your thoughts on tax avoidance?
I
didn't say tax evasion. Kitboga on the record in front of 20,000 people. What is your on tax avoidance? Go ahead.
So honestly, this probably is a bad way to think about it, but I kind of have just embraced the taxes and been like, you know what? If I have to pay more in taxes, then I guess that means that I was able to buy more GameStop, Like, I don't know. I like buy more. I've sort of just tried to not worry about it too much, and
I'm getting a lot of kappas in chat after you said that.
Wait,
I like
GameStop
paying taxes. I enjoy it. I embraced it.
I don't like paying taxes. I guess I've just been like, you know what?
So you don't do any write-offs for businesses or anything like that?
Well, I mean,
Oh no, I'm just asking because I didn't know like how like much you meant by that.
You said tax avoidance. I don't think writing off a camera.
Oh no, not at all. No. So. It's a meme on the channel because we did a whole thing where people, like really rich people, will like buy a $100 million yacht. They'll live on it for 2 weeks, rent it out for 2 weeks. Now it's a secondary home that they now also rental property. So then the any appreciation on it is capital gains. Yeah. Like that's legal, but it's tax avoidance. It's not tax evasion.
Okay.
So
no. I think some of that stuff's ridiculous. I hope some of that stuff goes away. Without getting into too much of the politics stuff. I think it's important to have.
So what you're saying is always pay your taxes.
Pay your taxes.
Pay your taxes, kids.
I definitely do. I am cognizant of like, I can write off this or certain things that I buy for the stream or whatever. For sure.
Do you do your taxes on yourself, or do you get a CPA?
I may pick one up. I had one, and then I didn't have one, and then I've gone back and forth. My business isn't very complicated, so I feel like anyway when I did work with a CPA, I learned a lot, and I keep decent records of everything. Like I have all separate accounts. It's pretty easy to just be like, here's the money that came in, here's the money that went out, do my taxes, All
right, can I ask you a couple questions from chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can ask whatever you
somebody
want.
said,
I may not answer them. No,
of course not. So somebody said the people want to know what Edna would invest in.
She would tell you to never invest in Velcro because it's a total ripoff.
Oh God!
And I assume Campbell's soup, Coca-Cola, blue chip. I don't know. Mayonnaise.
What? See, there is a mayonnaise thing. You pretended. You totally pretended that I didn't say that, and now you're coming back to it.
I do joke about mayonnaise, but basic mayonnaise. Now I understand the basic that's brand new. That's like a week old. I have an icon on my desktop that says basic mayonnaise. It's like a recipe to make mayonnaise. I didn't. What? It didn't process because I didn't.
What? I need the story behind that. What did happen?
As I filled up my desktop as Edna, the grandma character, full of weird things. Like there's 6 different AOL shortcuts, basic mayonnaise, stuff like that.
Oh, so it's okay, I get it now. All right, so I don't watch your. Go ahead.
People are talking about Dogecoin. I did used to mine Dogecoin. I burnt out multiple video cards overclocking it to mine Dogecoin. I think at its peak I had 400,000 Dogecoin. I sold all my Dogecoin a long time ago. So
you were that guy.
I'm not a Doge millionaire. Sorry, chat. I do not have any Dogecoin currently.
You're the reason that when I built my first computer in 2017, I paid like $6,000 for a $1,000 computer. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Because I built my first computer. I grew up without, anything. I didn't even have a computer my entire life. And then 3 years ago, I finally decided to build a computer so I could do something. And it was like $6,000. Well, it wasn't that much. It was like an ungodly amount for me to build a computer because everybody from China to your basement was building and mining crypto, and it just was insane.
Yep. I basically sold it to try to recoup the cost of burning out so many video cards. God. It was. I mean, I was just being goofy with. I thought it was fun. I still think like blockchain technology and stuff is really interesting, but I'm not really into crypto stuff.
Yeah, I'm more of a believer in the blockchain than the actual coins we have now.
Right.
I'm heavy into PayPal, which is having a really good day. Thank God. They're doing a lot with blockchain and crypto as well. So let me ask you another question because you've already been here an hour, and I know it's your day off, so I won't keep you.
Oh, geez. Well, it's my not live day. It's not my day off, but yeah.
That's right. You got to go play with your AI. I know. So the other question is what's the?
I play with my other children. Yeah, I play with my AI babies.
No, go away, kids. Daddy's busy. All right. So let me answer that. What is the dumbest purchase you've made in your life? That you can explain, like not like something that your wife doesn't know about that we don't want to expose here, but like what's like the dumbest thing you look back and say, God, that was stupid?
Other than GameStop, no.
Imagine if you invested in Lizzie today.
You mean like literally? Wait, what? You mean like anything,
Or
not just
skills.
stocks? Like anything?
Yeah, like we all because we're a finance channel, right? So let's talk about like like I'll give you my story, right? I've made a lot of dumb decisions in my life. When I was I've done a lot of really stupid stuff, and I've spent some money on some crazy stuff. But the one that always sticks out to me, I was 14 years old. And I had a job, right? I had my first job, and I had saved up. I busted my ass to save up money, and it was in the 1990s, late 1990s. And I went to Myrtle Beach that summer, and I took all the money in my bank account, and I bought a pair of Oakleys for $140. Now, these Oakleys, I ended up losing 2 weeks later, whatever. I look at the price of Apple, not that I would have done this, but I look at the price of Apple in 1998, 1999, and think if I would have thrown that $140 in there, you know what I mean? Like, I always try to think of like what was something stupid. So that's just like my story. Now, I'm not going to talk about other things I spent money on because I don't want to get in trouble and get TOS'd, but you know. Whoa, no.
I think
not like anything, not like anything like against the law, but I mean as in like you know, I mean this is a family friendly channel.
Right. I mean the first thing that comes to mind is more of like I didn't invest. I remember very specifically when Bitcoin first was like a thing. I don't even remember what year that was. I remember I basically made a presentation, like a PowerPoint, and I sat down with like some family people, like different people, and was like, holy smokes, this is crazy. This is going to revolutionize everything. And I remember like explaining all of it and be like, we should mine this. We should buy it. And all of the people that I presented to were like, no, you're dumb. This is going to be used for illegal things. And I just ignored it. So,
and that's why you're trying to take over the world now, right? Because of those people.
Why.
They screwed you over. You didn't invest, and now you will destroy them.
Yeah. So to some degree, there's stuff like, man, I remember, I'm sure you could have all kinds of stories about the companies you didn't invest in or the things you didn't. I don't know if for the most part, I've kind of had, I don't buy a lot of things, to be honest. So I guess.
But do you know why it's different for you? Because most people will say, oh, I wish I would have held my Bitcoin because of that. And I say to them, you were never going to hold to the top. There's no way. Nobody holds the top. But you, on the other hand, you, Mr. AMD from $2 Diamond Hands, you actually would have held it and would be a multi-millionaire because you just, oh, well, fuck it. I own it. It's going to be there.
I'm sure at some point I would have been like selling some along the way, I think. But yeah, I'd like to think maybe that's part of why I think of AI as that the next, like that's going to change stuff for the better, for better or for worse. And that's part of why I've been getting into that, I suppose. But gosh, I can't think of any stupid. And I will say, full disclosure, felt pretty dumb about the SPY puts for sure. I felt like,
hey, you got caught up in
okay, I'll ask you a question.
Go ahead.
I'll ask you a question. Have you ever felt like, and I don't know if this is a new thing with the market, a couple of friends and I have been talking that I'm not an expert by any stretch, but
none of us are.
It seems like things have been changing over the past year or two. Like people are like it might be, well, admittedly, I read a lot of Wall Street bet stuff, but I mean, we're talking about Nokia 5G stuff 2 or 3 years from now. Mm-hmm. Like that's what we're like,
well, that's what everyone's doing now. What do you think? Let me explain the ARKs to you. The ARKs are literally what these things are valued now is what they're supposed to be valued 5 years from now.
But I trust Kathy. I mean, Kathy was saying that about Tesla 5 years ago. So Kathy, I think
5 years ago, if you ever said you trusted someone named Kathy, they would have laughed at you. But now it's like Karen is the bad
one. Anyway, so what was I going to say? Do you ever feel like there's trades that you're making or things that you're like, gosh, this is a surefire thing, and then it doesn't happen and you're just does that like eat at you, or have you been doing this long enough where you say this happens to me every day and I don't care?
I'm dead inside at this point, so it's okay. It's like the first time you get broken up with, you're heartbroken, you're sick, it's all you can think about. And then after like 30 times of just getting dumped and destroyed, you're just like, fuck it, I guess, well, on to the next one. It's happening right now. So I got into gold, right? So I started playing gold back in November because gold has always been a hedge against inflation, right? So when the scare of inflation happens, the dollar starts to dip, or the treasury start to tick, and job numbers, and gold generally has always historically been the hedge against inflation, right? Even as long as crypto has been involved. So I got in there in November, and then 3 days later it just dove. But I have calls, right? So I just bought some more, and then it started going up, and I was up 45%. I was up 45%. And then I was like, okay, it's okay. The administration, now we have the blue wave, right? They're going to be a big stimulus come through. Gold's going to go up.
Yeah.
And it started going up again, and over the last 2 days, it's just fallen out of the sky. Now, I mean, some people will say, well, it's because of crypto, but crypto's been kind of flatlining for a while too. And they'll be saying, well, it's because of treasuries, it's because of bonds, it's because of equities. Whatever the reason is, historically, 3-4 months ago, you would have expected gold, a hedge against inflation, to tick up as we got more and more, longer coronavirus, stuff like that. Yeah, and the thing is the market will always evolve, and you got to evolve with the market. I guess it's like streaming, right? Like, you got to evolve with what you're doing, I mean, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like, I'm sure if you did the same character to the same people day after day after day after, it works, but eventually it's not going to, so you got to ever evolve. And I always tell these guys, everything is a trend until it's no longer a trend, and you're going to get kicked in the teeth. But what you do is you learn from it, and then you use that, it is what it is. So... I mean, yeah, it sucks.
I don't buy SPY puts anymore.
No, no more puts. Only calls now.
Stocks only go up. That's what I learned this year.
Ask Kitboga if he's fertile. I don't understand what these questions are.
If I'm fertile?
Oh, fertile.
I joke about it all the time. I just say I'll be like, I'm trying to think of. I'll just say, are you married? Because my granddaughter's or like.
Oh God.
It's just stupid. It's just something a grandparent would say, though. Like, my grandson is very fertile if you're
oh, God. Yeah. Oh, no. Now it's just gotten weird. Oh, my God. I'm actually thinking about it right now. Like, I
like uncomfortable. Yeah. Part of my goal is to just put people, the scammers, in uncomfortable situations.
I know, but I'm just thinking about, like, when I was, like, my grandparents. Like, my parents... And my parents both passed away 2 years ago, right? But I still have my grandparents.
Yeah.
And they've always been there. And my grandfather's hilarious. And he loves to embarrass the shit out of me. But I never know if he's doing it because he's trying to be funny or because he just doesn't know. And it's the weirdest shit. It's just the weirdest stuff. And I hate it. Like, they're so blunt. Like, they don't care. Like I remember I was dating this girl one time, and I had a kidney stone when I was like 23, and I had some pain, right? And I was dating this girl one time, and it was like 2 months later, and I brought him around. My grandmother just looked at him, and she says, honey, is it still burning when you pee? And she didn't understand that it, number one, wasn't the time, and that the pee burn of what she was talking about was, needless to say, I never saw that girl again, and I just, for the rest of my life, was like, Granny, just,
please don't.
Please, just, I'm not bringing you in the same thing.
Oh, I love that. I'm gonna use that, I think, as inspiration.
I'll never forget that. And I never got a chance to hit. It was an unfortunate situation. I'm a happily married man now. I just had a little girl who just cries all
Congrats,
the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The stream. If you look at the bags, did you have were they? He laughed. He looked at him and laughed. Did you have yours as a newborn when you were streaming, or were they already?
Why else do you think I wear glasses? I did. Yeah, our youngest is like 2-ish. So
how did that work out? How did you survive?
I built a soundproof room in my house.
And just put the kid in there and close the door?
No, everyone makes that joke. Everyone makes that joke.
Well, because I'm trying to understand what you mean by that. Like, no, I'm not asking about the sound on the stream. I'm talking about like your personal life. Like, was your wife? Did she have help? Was she by herself? Did you?
Yeah, my wife was the unsung hero.
So is mine, Jesus.
Of that for sure. So, yeah, between having some friends help me basically build like a studio, that way I wouldn't be on a call and you just hear crying or whatever. And yeah, her going above and beyond for sure. But
how much drinking
did I
you
say
do during
hung
that time?
sung? I meant to say
hung
unsung.
sung. Hey, listen, guys. It's his day off, okay? Or I'm sorry, it's his day with the other children. He has 2 families, okay? Don't we all? All right. You heard who he hung out with. All right. So my thing is, I want to ask you like one or two real quick questions because I know you got to get going. I'm actually having a lot of fun.
Sure.
It took we warmed up. It took a little while to warm up, but we're good here. All right. So Edna, the whole 9 yards and stuff like that. Have you decided? What is the next step for Kitboga and the stream? Like is it can't just stay this. Not that you're not doing good. You're doing amazing. You're killing it. Everyone loves you. You have like no enemies outside of people that live in another country. But we're as creators, we're always constantly trying to think of the next move. Like what's the and without any spoilers, what's next for Kitboga?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about, I feel to some degree like I'm outgrowing me and the green wall.
I thought you were going to say this interview. I was like, damn.
No. You're below me.
I'm outgrowing this interview. Who does this shit guy fucking stock market?
Just sometimes it feels like a lot of the ideas I've been having lately, I guess I would say more production type stuff is probably what I'm going to be experimenting with next. So I've been investing in different investing.
Wow.
I didn't even mean it like that. Just I've been buying different equipment or working on getting different things set up for like audio visual. More like imagine the way I've been saying it sometimes is I want people to like really see Edna at Best Buy purchasing gift cards, not just
I just sold all my Best Buy shares like a couple weeks ago. Unbelievable, dude. That was a direct hit. Okay, let me ask you this then, because I'm really curious. So you're talking about changes in production. You're doing AI. Yep. Are you going to become a VTuber?
Oh yeah, the AI is also probably a big part of it.
Are you going to become a VTuber? You sound like you're on the way down to a VTuber. You're like the guy who's like, I'm just going to try these drugs on the weekend with some friends. Next thing I know, he's like giving dry handies under a bridge, behind a Denny's. Like, I'm just testing with the VI. I'm just doing a little production stuff. I'm just doing. Next thing I know, you're out here with like cleavage and you're like doing Edna is like full Edna. Like you're doing VTuber Edna.
No VTuber Edna.
Okay.
Maybe on No Pixel 3.0. No. The AI stuff I do see is another avenue that I don't look at it necessarily like as a big money thing. I'm not thinking about it as, I can retire early with the AI, but I do think there's a ton of potential for I have these, I'll call them visions. I don't know. I can imagine having AI or multiple AI calling scammers all day, and I'm just, maybe it's even on another channel, I don't know, and I'm just stopping in to see what's going on, almost like the what would you call it?
Are you trying to like
football game or something, and you've got all the screens and you're just panning in between different things that are happening? So we'll see.
Somebody in chat goes, "This guy just wants to fuck a robot."
I think Soda Poppin's streaming. I'm sorry. I love Soda so much.
Okay. Okay. We are bringing the heat early.
Soda, I love you so much.
Soda's never going to see my shit stream. You're fine.
Okay.
Kitboga canceled tonight at 9.
He's like my favorite. Anyway.
I've actually never watched his stream. I'm so bad with Twitch because I didn't, I never did live stream. I didn't even know what Twitch was in July of 2018, and I opened up an account in August of 2018. Like I didn't know. I don't spend. Yeah, and it just was.
He's been around for a long time. I think that he is one of the most awkward yet wholesome streamers out there. I've said it to his face that I think it is wonderful. I think he's so awkward, and I love it. But
Well, I mean, I've seen clips of him, and he seems like you said. He seems like a really genuine dude. I've never spoken to him. I don't really watch his streams, but he just seems like one of those guys who's just like, he's just like a guy. He just kind of hangs out. He does his thing, you know. And does it. But it's like, I guess it's different.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just rambling. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you get a chance, I know we're trying to wrap up. If you get a chance, I don't know where it is, if it exists. He did a sponsored stream with Trojan condoms, and it was the best investment I'm sure that company has ever made.
Someone needs to find that.
It was so beyond good. It was just cringe and hilarious. It was wonderful. And I, to this day, like if I'm walking through a store, if I'm walking through a store, I just think of soda. Anyway, all right. I feel like you asked me a question, I never answered it, about future Kitboga. Oh, I did answer that.
Yeah, you were talking about you wanted to work more into, production, and all that. I was just thinking of like, I was thinking like, short term, long term, but that's really cool. Like, I just like to get the idea, like somebody asked me, what's future for StockGuy? I don't fucking know. Like, I never saw this happening. I was just some asshole, whatever. Some guy who liked to trade and was like, everywhere I go on the internet, it's just pump and dumps, or it's somebody who's spouting off bullshit, or it's like paid services. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I could just stream my trading, and then it just kind of grew from there, and then it became a community, and it was like helping people and memes and inside jokes, and now I'm Jim Cramer. I mean, things happen, and it's just so much fun. Like, just like you, I never thought that I would be a streamer, and I think most people who become at least in the level of being able to live off of streaming never started with the idea that I am going to start this because this is going to be my job one day.
I don't know currently. I haven't done an exhaustive search, but I don't know currently any streamer that set out to be a streamer. Like, among the, I guess you could say, larger streamers on Twitch.
Hey, well, I mean, then again, I mean, I just found out that like the Spanish category is I don't know if you're familiar with
Miz
this.
Did? Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the Spanish,
I'm not.
Yeah, they're like, these guys are like killing it. Like, they're averaging way more than anybody else out there. Because I don't follow them, so I don't see them. But like, you know that I saw that one guy, Spanish streamer, got his Fortnite skin or whatever. He had like 2.5 million viewers.
I saw that on LSF.
Yeah, and then like this whole category, like if you go on to like Sully Gnome and you go into like all time, like, or like the biggest streams in the world, and you don't go by English, it's like all these Spanish streamers.
Awesome.
It's insane. So it's like,
that's really cool.
I know, it's like this whole world of Twitch that I already don't know the regular world of Twitch. The only reason I know Kitboga is because my wife watches him and he calls my in-laws. That's it. Like, that's the only reason I knew who you were. But I know that you're like Twitch royalty now. You know what I mean? And I just think it's super.
I don't know if I'd say that, but
I would say that because you are the undisputed leader of what you do, and around that, it automatically makes you that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you took something that either wasn't there or wasn't big, you made it your own, you put in the work, you put in the entertainment value, you set yourself up for the success, right? And you became the trendsetter. You became the beacon. You became, no, I'm not trying to kiss your ass. I'm just saying you became.
No, it's hard to.
I know, I hate fucking compliments.
It's just
but
weird
it's
to think
easier
about
to give
it.
it.
You know?
But yeah, so you were the trailblazer, and that's why A, people are going to try and take you down, but B, you're also going to make the mistakes because you don't have anyone to look at and say, oh, I can follow in their steps.
Right.
So when you look at the branch on the tree that is Twitch, you own that branch. So that makes you kind of like you're the one connected to the trunk, right? Like, you own that category.
I'm the grandpa.
You listen. Be connected to my trunk anytime, okay? And so there's other people in different Not you. I was talking to chat, not you. I don't know you that well. No, I wasn't talking to you. The person in chat who made a comment. Okay. Oh my God, this got awkward all of a sudden. Wow. It's
not awkward. Don't worry.
Wow. Just Google trees rule 34, whatever. But don't do that. But yeah, so I think that like in certain categories, that's that. Like chess, you've got like those guys, and you've got everything. So I think that it's This was doing so well, and it's just unraveling so quickly at the end right now.
I gotta go. I have
Yeah,
a
you know
food
what?
in the oven that I
Hey,
gotta take
listen,
care
ladies
of,
and
so-
gentlemen, mods, if you could spam Kitboga's oh my god, this got so bad. So
Here, I'll
quickly.
take. I had a ton of fun. Would be happy to chat again sometime or do some other.
You're
collab
never
stuff.
coming back.
So, yeah,
Don't
really quick,
lie
I
to
gotta
my
figure out how
people.
to delete your channel from my.
Oh, I can't show myself in public. Oh, well,
thank
listen.
you.
Honestly, seriously, thank you so much for coming. This was a blast.
Yeah.
And hopefully
Yeah.
now that we got to know each other and get the ice breaking out, we're a little bit more comfortable. Next time we'll do a bullshit ceremony if you ever want to call in when you're bored. And
Sure.
YOLO. I do need one thing from you before you go.
Okay, maybe.
It's not gonna get weird. I've already accidentally ruined everything. These guys are asking
Okay.
for a YOLO.
What's a YOLO? Like, what do I recommend?
All they care, just give them a ticker. Any ticker in the world. You're not recommending anything. You're not recommending anything. You're not even telling them up or down. They just want a YOLO. Just give them the ticker. That's all they want. They're all Peppo G'ing right now waiting.
I feel pressured to say a certain one, but I'm just gonna say ARKK. That's it. That's my entire investment strategy.
They asked for a YOLO, not an investment.
Oh, a YOLO. Okay. There's this little known company. No one's ever heard of them before. Sometime down the road, they might be worth one.
Okay, before you say the name of some small fucking penny stock and get my ass arrested, let's try to.
I was just gonna say GameStop, dude.
Oh no!
I don't know what
Okay. I was sitting there like,
I
this
don't
dude
know.
is gonna wreck my career. Like he's like some little stock, and it's called like
Someone told me that this
somebody's gonna
company's
tell me.
be
Some guy's gonna
big.
tell me that there's a huge investment opportunity, and it's RLP or something, and it's like from 1 cent stock, and these guys go and buy it, crash it, everyone loses their money. I go to prison, and you're just like, well, son, did you hear about the stock
Well.
guy? Like,
I don't know a YOLO. I don't know a better YOLO than GameStop. Like, what is GameStop other than a YOLO?
a death sentence?
Gosh. Is PLTR considered a YOLO? I don't think it's a YOLO. I'm sorry, guys.
What are
I
your
wish I
thoughts
had
on the
something better for
Roblox IPO? You have kids.
Roblox? I think they make money. How about that?
All in. Thank
I
you.
think
Thank
that-
you so much. There it is right there. Appreciate you.
There you
Ladies
go.
and gentlemen, clap it up for Kitboga. Appreciate you. Guys, mods have already spammed it. They're going to spam it again. This guy, obviously,
Thank
hates
you.
me, but he is awesome. He's great. AI, he's got to take care of them and his kids. Kit, Mr. Boga, however you want to go. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. This was a
Yes.
blast. We'll post it up on YouTube. Do I have your permission to post it on YouTube?
Yes, you do.
There you go, guys. Right there. We're going to have it on there. So I had a good
I'll
time.
talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll talk soon. Okay, dude?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Take care.
I didn't embarrass myself as bad as I thought I would. I didn't embarrass myself as bad as I thought. That guy is awesome. I like him a lot.